Tonight from Yankee Stadium, the Red Sox are one win away from winning the American League East, and it's a rich storyline. David Price looks to conquer the Bronx Bombers right here and claim the division against an ancient rival. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Dave O'Brien alongside the Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley and also Garen Austin in a couple of moments. Yeah, all sorts of storylines in this one, Eck, and certainly the pitching matchup at the very top, David Price against Severino.
You can't help but go back to July 1st here in Yankee Stadium, probably a low point in David Price's career. I mean, in the year, maybe not in his career, but 5 home runs he gave up to the Yankees, and he said at that time, I'm going to take it back to the drawing board. And has he ever taken it back to the drawing board? Since the All-Star break, he might be the best pitcher in the American League with those numbers that he's got. And you look on the other side, Severino was Cy Young at the All-Star break, and then since then he hit a wall. You know, you don't really understand what happened. He started giving up home runs, but he was just unbelievable, 14-2 at the break. So this is a game that David Price gets to come back and sort of slay his demons here in Yankee Stadium and get a chance to clinch this thing, which is a beautiful thing.
Well, that's what's on the line for the Red Sox here tonight. And Mookie Betts is back in the lineup. Mookie's sitting out last night. Of course, he had that side issue at Fenway Park. A little extra rest for him. He has hit the Yankees particularly well. Red Sox and the Yankees here in the Bronx coming up. Website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees, that's transparency. Amico Home Life and Auto Insurance that always puts you first. The all-new 3-row Subaru Ascent featuring all-wheel drive. And by Old Dominion, the official freight carrier of Major League Baseball and the Boston Red Sox. Very pretty night here. The middle game of the series. Red Sox looking for a clinch party here tonight. And have David Price on the mound against the right-hander Luis Severino. Time for an update. Our Xfinity X1 report as we go down to Garen Austin.
Thanks, Obi. Well, there was a change of plans, and before the game, Alex Cora updated us on what the new plan will be for Chris Sale.
So he's pitching Friday, and then he's pitching Wednesday against Baltimore. Like I said yesterday, if we play in the division series, then he'll have like a aggressive bullpen or simulated game either Sunday, the last day of the season, or Monday, and we'll line him up to for the division series.
And Cora made it very clear today that they have bigger plans, and that is October baseball, and they will do what they need to do to take care of their guys, as they have done all season. OB?
All right, Garen, thank you very much. Red Sox about to bat for the first time against Luis Severino tonight, who is starting on extended rest. He's gone on 6 days rest, coming in at 17-8. Red Sox attempting to clinch the American League East at Yankee Stadium for the second time in 3 years. Last year they won it at Fenway on September 30th. Red Sox also trying to get back to hitting the long ball act. That's been a real issue here in the month of September. The Red Sox have really fallen off in that category. They've only hit 11 home runs this month.
Yeah, and you think about some of the guys that have been sitting on it for a while. Andrew Benintendi comes to mind. Even Mookie hasn't hit one. Moreland hasn't hit one in a while. So several guys, maybe they'll break out. To me, this is the night, because I think the Red Sox are geared up big time, and they're going to get this guy.
Well, they've gotten him before. He's also gotten the Red Sox before, so it's kind of been a mixed bag for Severino. When he's been real good against the Red Sox, he's been outstanding. A couple of times this season, however, he has not been. He did have one start. We struck out 11, so we'll see which version shows up here tonight. Here's a look at the Red Sox lineup. Brought to you by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Mookie Betts at the top, leading baseball at 337. Andrew Benintendi back in there tonight. He also had most of last night off. He's in left. JD Martinez in right. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Mitch Moreland at first base. Ian Kinsler, followed by Eduardo Nunez, Sandy Leon, and Jackie Bradley in the Red Sox lineup tonight. Up against the right-hander Severino, career 3-6 against the Red Sox, an ERA of 4.29. That's in 11 starts, so they are very familiar with the talented righty.
Yeah, let's take a look at the Yankees defense tonight. Wasn't very good last night in the 9th inning. They are 9th in the league. You go around the infield, Miguel Andujar at third, Didi Gregorius short, Gleyber Torres at second, and Luke Voigt at first. Out in the outfield, Andrew McCutchen in left, Aaron Hicks in center, Giancarlo Stanton in right. Behind plate, Gary Sanchez catching Luis Severino.
Here are the umpires tonight, brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Chris Guccione behind the plate, Kerwin Danley, Mike Estabrook, and Chad Fairchild around the bases. We're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit compra2toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV. As mentioned, a very, very comfortable night right now. 76 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Going to cool off tomorrow. And tomorrow evening, the finale of the series, temperatures could well be down in the 50s into the evening. Red Sox trying to take care of business here tonight after falling last night 3-2. The Yankees did their best at the end to give that thing away with a couple of big errors, but a double play ended the ball game. And now Alex Cora and the Sox trying to win for the 104th time and win the division for the 3rd consecutive season. And Mookie Betts, the DH tonight, to lead things off. 337, 29 home runs. He has yet to homer in the month of September. And Severino's first one is ball one, and we're underway. Benintendi on deck. 2-0.
Well, it reminded me that first pitch by Severino back in Boston in that 4-game sweep. Remember, he threw a ball up and in the first pitch of the game. There's some tension in the air at that time.
He'll take ball 3. Did not get that call from Guccione. Mookie out of last night's lineup after leaving Sunday's game with soreness in that side. And he's going to walk on 4 consecutive pitches. So Mookie Betts aboard and Benintendi next.
Well, that is a great start Mookie got 28 bags on the season, 2 more for 30.
Yeah, 2 stolen bases, 1 home run, and he's a 30-30 man. Benintendi seems to really get a great look at Severino.
Swings the bat so well in Yankee Stadium this young career.
Still not a strike here from the right-hander. A key matchup presented by Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service. Always here to get you there. Benintendi against Severino. .458. He's 11 out of 24 with 2 home runs.
Yeah, 2 3-run shots in the same game. Get a look at Benintendi's new zapatos, man. Those blue shoes he's got working. Something new.
He grounded out in 1 at bat last night. Still nothing in the strike zone from Severino. He has started off with 6 consecutive balls.
Well, this has been 2 pitchers, 2 different seasons, the first half and the second half. I mean, he was as good as they get in the first half. Probably could have started the All-Star game. Chris Sale did, but he could have very well started it.
14-2 in the first half. 2.31 ERA.
How about that little changeup, 2-0. I mean, that is a nasty pitch. When you haven't thrown a strike yet and you throw him a changeup.
Mookie with a decent lead, not running.
Back to back. I mean, that is a big pitch for him. He was pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher. High 90s fastball. That slider is almost, it's punch out slider, and then you see this 3-finger change back to back. That's a strike. He swings right through it, way out in front.
Martinez on deck. Little flare to center field. Hicks coming on to make the catch. One man out. Severino has lost 2 in a row, including 8-2 at Oakland when he gave up 6 earned runs in 2 2/3.
Yeah, didn't get any help from Sanchez behind the plate. Boxed a bunch of balls in the first inning.
Sanchez heard some boos last night in Yankee Stadium.
He did.
JD Martinez now 328, 41 homers, drove in his 123rd run last night. That run he drove in the 3rd inning held up until the 7th inning. And Neil Walker's 3-run homer. As Betts dives back in. Martinez also tripled in the 8th inning, but he was stranded there.
Yankees almost gave the game to the Red Sox 9th inning last night. They just threw it around.
Eventually holding on for a 3-2 win on a double play to end the game. 96 but off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike on JD.
Eventually we're going to see a slider.
Betts still holding, and that's up the middle for a base hit. Betts rounding on his way to 3rd. He's going to take advantage as he goes in there standing up. Well, he's fun to watch.
Yes, and he just pushes the envelope, and that's exactly what he should do. That ball was smoked. I was waiting for a changeup. Slider. He throws him a changeup right down the middle. He spanks this thing up the middle, and Mookie just pushes the envelope around 3rd base. No chance. 1st and 3rd, 1 out. But look at him go. That's exactly what you want to see happening right here. He almost went into the dive. Don't hurt yourself.
Didn't even have to slide.
No.
So the Red Sox pressing the matter right away. Xander Bogaerts with an RBI opportunity. This is not his favorite pitcher in the world. He's just 2 for 21 against Severino, trying to break that up. With one gone.
So it reached back for a little bit more there. 98. Yet to see a slider.
Xander 1 for 4 with a double last night. His 43rd double. A career high for the Red Sox shortstop.
He said yes to the fastball, but he stuck another sign down there, and he better get it straight. Him and Sanchez. Slider. That's nasty.
0-2.
That is a punch-out pitch. It just disappears. I mean, this is a blade. It just cuts down. It goes down too. Look at that thing. Vicious.
So he has Bogaerts in the hole.
How can you not throw another one?
Bounced it up there. It skips away. Martinez will advance. Betts holding at third base. JD down to second on the wild pitch.
You got to give Sanchez credit on that. That slider was thrown, just spiked that slider way out in front of the plate. Ball comes back a little bit, kicks off his glove, his chest protector, bounces just far enough away. Mookie goes back. JD takes second.
And for a guy getting a lot of criticism, that's a heck of a play. Second and third. An opportunity for the Red Sox to pounce right away against Severino and the Yankees.
Got to get him here.
And popped him up. The shortstop Gregorius is there to make the catch. And so 2 down.
The beat goes on there with Bogaerts against Severino. 2 for 20. What?
2 for 22 now.
Ooh. 3 nasty sliders.
That would officially be a nemesis, I think.
Yes.
And here comes Mitch Moreland trying to salvage the inning now. 246, 14 home runs. And much better numbers against this guy. 7 out of 17. That's 412.
Mitch is kind of due.
Yeah, I would say there are several Red Sox who fit that description right now. Due to hit one out.
We'll take a flare.
Mookie Betts down at third. JD Martinez at second with 2 away. Over shift on. Torres is in shallow right, and that's ball 1. And Sanchez out to the hill.
They may have more conferences than any battery in the league. This is what the rule was made for, wasn't it? These 6.
Yeah, we kind of called it the Gary Sanchez rule because he goes to the mound more free. This is taking a long time. We've talked about it all season long. It feels like from the very first few days of the season how important it is for the Red Sox to score first. They are 16-9 and 14 when they score the first run.
I'd be afraid to throw that that breaking ball like he did.
2-0. Kinsler on deck. Mookie Betts began the inning taking a 4-pitch walk. After Benintendi popped to center, Martinez ripped a single. A wild pitch has 2 men in scoring position. Bogaerts with a pop up. Opportunity knocking here for Mitch Moreland.
Boy, he likes that changeup right away tonight. A couple of good ones to Benintendi. Not so good to JD Martinez, but that was a good one.
And right back to the pitcher. And Severino's going to get out of it as he retires Moreland. Red Sox strand runners at second and third in the first inning. Position time now for the Yankees to bat. Here's their lineup brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. Andrew McCutchen will lead it off in left. Aaron Judge the DH tonight with Hicks in center, Stanton in right, Didi Gregorius in short, and Duhar at third, Sanchez catching, Voit at first base, and Gleyber Torres the second baseman. Against the Red Sox starter presented by New England Audi dealers. David Price 15-6, 3.42 ERA, 5-0 since the All-Star break with a 156. And tonight facing the Yankees inside the stadium.
I mean, what can you say about David Price? He has been locked in for so long. The only hiccup was the line drive off his wrist.
$2-0 on McCutchen, hitting .208 since being acquired from the San Francisco Giants.
The question is, can he get comfortable in Yankee Stadium?
Well, as a member of the Red Sox, he has yet to win here. 0-5 with a 10.44 ERA when he pitches in this ballpark. And ball three.
I mean, he's had such great command, out of this world command, in and out. Changeup's been awesome.
It's been deadly. .3-0 on McCutchen. And he walks him. So how about this? Both starters,
that is strange.
two of the very best in the game, walked the first man they face on 4 straight.
I mean, he hasn't walked but 10 guys in the last 12 starts, for goodness sake. Could have used that pitch.
Now the big hand for Aaron Judge, who returned to their lineup last night and played right field as well. Tonight he's the designated hitter. Back from that chip fracture in his right wrist when he was struck by a pitch. Hitting .282 with 26 home runs.
Hacking early last night. First 2 times up, first pitch. There you go.
In there for strike one. Judge said after last night he felt great. So it's like riding a bike. Hit one line drive that went 107 miles an hour, which was caught.
He just showed him that high fastball there. He doesn't throw a lot of crossing fastballs. Price does something to everything. A little cutter here, change up there, backdoor this.
Pounded in there for a strike.
That's perfect. Cross seam paint down and in. This is a perfect pitch. Too bad it's not strike 3. That is perfectly placed.
Judge 2 for 8 against Price. One of those hits is a home run. Scoreless here in the first inning. McCutchen aboard. Tried the outside and missed there. Price coming off another gem in a series of them. A 1-0 win over Toronto.
He's going to go get him inside. He humped up right there and left it up out over. Didn't finish that pitch, and he was all over it. Guys fouled that ball straight back. It's like, uh-oh. Ooh. Especially a big boy that can hit it out anywhere.
One of the many things that Price has done exceptionally well since the All-Star break is keep it in the ballpark.
Yeah.
He's allowed just 2 home runs his last 9 starts.
How about a changeup?
Line shot up the middle, but caught by Kinsler back to first, not in time for the double play.
Thank thee. Oh. You got to love this defense. The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They are second in the American League. Around the infield, Eduardo Nunez at third, Xander Bogaerts at short, Ian Kinsler at second, Mitch Moreland at first. Out in the outfield, left to right, Andrew Benintendi, Jackie Bradley Jr., J.D. Martinez behind the plate. Sandy Leone catching David Price. That is a big out right there. You got Kinsler playing right up the middle. He did throw him a changeup. He hit a bullet and almost turned 2.
They'll send up Aaron Hicks, center fielder, 243. Good power, 24 home runs. Little topper. Here comes Nunez in a charge. He'll go to first and he'll get him. And the second base is McCutchen, but 2 down.
There's some defense there right away. Nunez has a nice time with this. He makes this look routine. I thought it might be trouble. Hicks could run. He gloves it. The exchange is nice. Throw just beats him. Nicely done.
The knee looks like it feels a lot better for Eduardo. Very good sign for the Red Sox. So here comes Stanton, 263, 34 home runs. And he's never homered against Price, but he is 6 for 16 off him. Nothing in the bottom of the first inning. Yankees with McCutchen at second. Stanton last night struck out for the 200th time this season. But arguably the strongest man in baseball. Here's the 1-0. That's well outside.
Got to be a little careful here. Try to get that first fastball in, missed up. You do have a base open with Didi coming up, but Didi's got some decent numbers off him.
The 2-0. Last time out for Price, 7 scoreless against Toronto. He allowed 3 singles. did not allow a base runner until 1 out in the 5th inning. 2-2.
Boy, challenge piece right there, huh? Middle gas.
Whenever he gets 2 strikes on somebody, left-hander or right-handed hitter these days, you're kind of looking for that change, aren't you?
Yeah, because he had that swing and miss change up, but boy, he threw one to Judge. He smoked it.
McCutchen would lead off second, 2 down. Rice working with Sandy Leon. And that's in there for strike 3. Went to the fastball. 94 to strike out Stanton. The major leagues with 289 wins since the start of 2016. Most wins over a 3-year span in franchise history. Twisted Tea is hard iced tea unwind with a twist. There's 103 here in 2018. So far, 103 and 48 going into play tonight. And closing in on the all-time single season franchise record. Kinsler lead things off here in the 2nd inning. No score. Both the Red Sox and Yankees had a quick opportunity in the opening inning. And a mile-high pop-up on the infield. Torres, the second baseman, still coming. 1 away.
Yeah, October is almost here, and NESN and NESN.com are coming home for complete coverage of Sox throughout the postseason, including a full hour of access and analysts from our Hall of Fame broadcast team before and after every game. October on NESN is presented by BuyAToyota.com and Old Dominion Freight Lines.
Eduardo Nunez made a fine charging play at third base tonight, batting for the first time, 262 with 10 home runs. Rips that one. Gregorius down to get it. He caught it clean. That's out number 2. That was hit on the button, but to the 2nd out.
The Yankees get a line drive this inning too, right off the ground there by Didi, backing off of it. Sized it up, got down and snatched it. Got fooled a little bit by it.
Sandy Leon trying to bust out of a skid here, 0 for his last 29. leaving Sandy at 182 with 5 home runs. Sox with a victory tonight would get to 50 wins on the road. They have 54 at Fenway. It would be the first time in club history they had as many as 50 home and road in the same season. And the 0-2. He struck him out and did so on 3 pitches. Sanchez will have to finish that with a throw, and that's it. Red Sox go 1-2-3 here in the second. Brought to you by Franklin Sports, the official batting glove of Major League Baseball and the Red Sox. Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by LL Bean. If it's outside, we're all in. Be an outsider. Dennis Eckersley, Dave O'Brien with it. And that's the commissioner of Major League Baseball enjoying a night off. Rob Manfred with his family, it looks like.
Busy man.
I say that because he was looking for his wallet during the commercial break.
We caught him.
He reached over and it looked like his wife, his lovely wife, said, "You gave it to me.
Right.
Okay, here it is."
He looked like he was panicking. He was touching his pockets.
like all of us look.
Oh, yeah.
On a typical Saturday morning. Like,
I never give my wallet to my wife. Are you kidding me?
well, I do.
Do you?
Well, sometimes I
It's
have
like
no
her
choice.
driving the car. She's not driving the car with me in the car.
Here's the 0-1 and a fly ball popped up into left center. On the move, Benintendi. And we'll set down Gregorius.
Yeah, check this out. Look at him. He's panicking.
Where is that
I
again?
thought he was looking for his phone, but it's his
my
wallet.
goodness, I'm going to have to
Look at
replace
this.
all this stuff. Honey, have you seen my...
Look at this.
Honey, I'm going to go get it. But
Where do you think it is? Where's he going to get it?
Oh, I gave it to you. Oh, that's right. That's right. For safety.
That is classic, isn't it?
I do that every Saturday. That's me right there.
But your wife doesn't drive the car.
She does whatever she wants.
Oh, you got
Are you
it.
kidding me?
Yeah.
And Duhar, 296 with 24 home runs. 83 runs batted in. Very solid year for the young third baseman.
Boy, it was so good that David Price got out of that first inning. I'm telling you, it could have been worse. Now he can get locked in again.
They walked the leadoff man on 4 straight. Both starters did, but then got the next 3 men.
But the line drive by Judge was huge.
The bullet. But Kinsler was Johnny on the spot for that. Well, everybody plays the second baseman up the middle these days.
Oh, yeah. It's the truth, though.
He was in the right position. The 1-1. Trickle foul. Tonight's #1 player brought to you by Harbor One Bank, ranked #1 bank in Massachusetts by Forbes. American League ERA leaders since the All-Star break, and Mr. Price at the very top at 1.56. Tanaka and Happ, both in the Yankee rotation, also up there.
Yeah, 3 of the guys are here.
Excellent pitchers duel for most of the game last night between Happ and Nathan Eovaldi. High fly, deep right field. Martinez turning. That ball's going to get out of here. It's gone. And Duhar with his 25th, the solo shot. Yankees are on the board, 1-0.
I mean, it is what it is. It's Yankee Stadium, and this is classic. It really is. He just fights off a high fastball and hits the ball out of here. Didn't he look like he got beat on this? This is a high fastball way out of the strike zone, and look at him. Like he just fights it off, gets this ball in the air, and it gets out of here easy. I mean, you just know it. That's just the way it is.
What do you think that is? 325 feet, maybe?
The Red Sox have the pesky pole, and that's only, what, 302, but it jets straight out.
Well, they do hit a lot of home runs in their ballpark. 1-0. Sanchez, the batter. Talking about home runs now. In his career against Price, 6 for 12, 5 home runs.
That is
RBI.
unheard of.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
And a 1-1. Voit on deck, the first baseman. Here comes the 2-1. When chasing on that one.
You see the good changeup. It makes you tentative to throw the ball upstairs sometimes to a right-handed hitter. This is a disappearing changeup right here. A 2-1 count, hitter's count. He's anxious. Get it in there.
Mm. 95 on the gun. That's his best fastball tonight. Didn't miss by much.
Best we've ever seen. Really, 95, right?
They punched out Stanton on 194 on the inside in the first inning.
Well, you throw that ball that hard because you do not want it to drift back over. If there's a time to bring it, it's right there, down and in.
Red Sox stacking a shift on the left side, 3-2, and he walked him. There's walked 2 in the first couple of innings. He had walked just 13 men over his previous 15 starts. So,
yeah, head to NESN.com to get all the latest news, highlights, and info from the Bruins' trip to China. NESN will have the last 2 preseason games before they drop the puck on October 3rd against the reigning Stanley Cup champions, the Washington Capitals. NESN, the home of the Boston Bruins.
Luke Voit now, first baseman, 292, 7 home runs. Done some good things since they brought him to the Yankees. He was acquired from St. Louis at the end of July. In there for strike 1. He started him with a changeup.
Yeah, this kid's got some pop, especially the other way. Dante Bichette, that's who he reminds me of.
Yeah, that's a good call. Sharply hit, base hit into left field. First and second with 1 down.
Boy, back-to-back changeups, and he was on it. Oh, it's a cutter. This ball's cutting inside. Ball's up a little bit. He cleans it right out of there. I thought that was a changeup, but that was a cutter, and he smoked it. What that's all about, huh?
So first and second for Gleyber Torres, 280, 23 home runs. Driven in 71. Outstanding production out of the 9 spot in a batting order. And in there for a strike. This guy's been a hot bat his last 28 games, hitting .343. Sanchez and Voit, the base runners. Yankees on top on the Andujar home run.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Price will slow this thing down at the speed of, it just slows everything down. He'll wait you out.
The 0-1. Popped up, twisting into foul ground. Moreland to give it a look near the stands, but can't get to that.
Couple more feet. Even without the screen, he might be able to lean in there. No foul territory to begin with.
0-2. Yankees really getting serious production out of their rookies.
Goes without saying, these two kids, I'll tell you, the Yankees wouldn't be here.
They can both swing it. He's got Torres down 0-2, however. And right past him. He struck him out. Big K there for Price. Amica Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, and life insurance.
Boy, this 0-2 cutter just took off. Ate him up is what it did. Look at the cut on this. He's sitting outside, but it gets some of the plate. 3 pitches, punch out.
That'll bring up the veteran McCutchen, who walked in the first inning. He's 1 for 4 with a home run against Price in his career. Since Price took a loss 11-1 to the Yankees on the 1st of July, he has not suffered a defeat, and includes a strong 6-inning start against the Yankees at Fenway. He picked up the win there. It has been a different story for him, of course, here at Yankee Stadium, but trying to get out of this jam and hold him to just the solo home run. The 1-1. Two on and 2 out. McCutchen, the former National League most valuable player, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Three and 1.
Boy, everything upstairs. Velocity's there. Maybe that's why. Overthrown it a little bit.
Now McCutchen, a guy who likes that high heat.
Had some good swings at high fastballs last night.
Judge on deck. Here's the 3-1. And he has walked in to load up the bases. He's walked 3 men in the first 2 innings.
Well, this has been a challenge so far for David Price. The way we've been seeing him, he's been just cruising, but this is a difficult lineup for him. All these right-handed hitters. He's off a tick. His control, it's been impeccable up all season long. MLB at Bat is your #1 Red Sox app to follow the Red Sox postseason push. Get Red Sox home screen icons and features such as the game of the day, pitch tracking, stats, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
Those last 15 starts, Price has walked 3 men in a ball game only once. He's done it again here tonight. He's put himself in a bind as Judge will climb in for the second time.
Yeah, this is something we haven't seen in a long time, and this is such a big at bat right here.
Judge first time up, ripped the line drive up the middle, but Kinsler caught that. No place to put him with 2 down. Ground ball to third and right through Nunez. 1 run is in. Here comes Boyd in to score. 2 runs on the mistake by Nunez. Hit right at him. 3-0 Yankees. Play that should have ended the inning.
Yeah, it is what it is. It just falls right between his legs. He comes up too quick on it, misses it badly. Ball sharply hit for the most part. 2 hops. Couldn't happen at a worse time. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Everybody's going.
So that'll send up Hicks with runners at second and third. Yankees trying to make this a giant inning. Hicks has grounded out to third. He's 0 for 1. Red Sox generally have been rock solid defensively, but not on that effort by Nunez. So a home run, 2 walks, a base hit, and a huge error. And the Yankees are on top 3-0. Hicks is the 8th man to bat in the inning.
He keeps squeezing his pant leg with his left hand. And he was clearly something was going on with his hand. He was stretching it a couple times earlier in this inning. I don't know if there's anything there or not, but it's kind of unusual.
Runner darting down the line at third, but that one fouled back. Price just ignored the base runner.
Maybe it's just sweaty and he's trying to get the sweat off, but you see this here. See how this is after Judge, and this is earlier in this inning. See him stretch his hand a little bit, kind of weird.
There's no way of knowing what that's about. Of course, he got drilled by that line drive on the wrist.
And you see the sweat. You know, that could be one thing. He's just grabbing his pant leg and get the sweat off.
But he's been fine since that happened.
Yeah.
2 down and a 1-2.
Yeah, what's going on here?
I think
something about the windup.
I think originally, yeah, that's what he said. He was going for the stretch.
He tells them, the umpire, he's going to go to the windup because he sort of, you wouldn't know what he's doing because he creeps into his windup. But he wanted to inform him earlier, I'm going to the windup, so don't be calling the balk on me.
Two down, 2 on, and a 2-2. And he spoiled that one out of play, 94 miles an hour.
You can't help but think about circulation or something, you know? Because he's had some problems with the circulation, but at the same time, he's sweaty. I think that's what it is, just getting the sweat off, see?
Stanton on deck. Been a long inning out there for Price. 2-2. Little flare to right center toward the alley. Moving on over Martinez. He's got it to retire the side. Very costly error in the inning. 3-0 Yankees. Park Casino donates $777 to the Relay for Life of North Attleboro. Sox are trailing 3-0 as we take it to the third inning. And Jackie Bradley about to lead things off against Severino. Jackie 230, 12 home runs. He was 0 for 3 last night. He'll be followed by Mookie Betts and Andrew Benintendi. Fouled at home plate. Severino's night started with a walk on the wild side. He missed with his first 6 pitches, but he has settled in since then, and he sets down Jackie Bradley. He fans him. 1 out in the third.
Boy, he likes that changeup early in this game. That's a good one. Swing and miss changeup. So that 3-finger turned me over, way off speed. Jackie way out front. We've seen several of those early on.
That'll send up Mookie Betts, who drew a walk in the first inning. Mookie gets on like crazy against the Yankees. He's reached base in 32 out of 63 plate appearances this year against New York. Wound up stranded at third base, however, in the first inning. Did not get that call.
Have that.
He was held out of the lineup yesterday. Alex Cora cautious with the MVP candidate. Said he's not a big guy. Red Sox need him close to 100%, as close as they can get him heading into October. And the Sox do have a 10.5 game lead. Some thought maybe in the spot where Travis hit last night.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Cora may have used him, but he stayed away from him. One down. Here's the 2-2. He's on the verge of walking it for the second time.
Afraid to throw him a fastball is what's going on. When Severino's on his game, he's got one of the best sliders in the whole game.
Payoff pitch. In play at third, picked by Andujar, and on target, 2 down. With Benintendi coming up.
Red Sox season ticket plans for 2019 are on sale now, including half season and 20 game plans. For more info, go to redsox.com/season tickets or call 877 Red Sox 9.
Benintendi 0 for 1. He has popped to center. We mentioned that Benintendi has not hit a home run this month, but Mookie Betts hasn't either. Mitch Moreland, Jackie Bradley, Ian Kinsler, they've combined for 2 home runs in the month of September. It was a pretty big part of the Red Sox attack all summer long. Two and nothing. Benintendi sitting at 16 home runs. As Eck mentioned, he loves this ballpark. And through there for a strike.
That's his best fastball.
And gently hit to Torres, the second baseman. Red Sox will go in order here in the third against Severino. Bean from the ballpark to your local park. The outside is always better together. LL Bean B, an outsider. Very comfortable night here inside Yankee Stadium. A little more comfortable right now for the Yankees. They're on top 3-0 in batting here in the bottom of the third inning. After they got 3 last inning on a home run, 2 walks, a base hit, and an error that brought in 2. The only man who did not hit for the Yankees last inning is batting here. Giancarlo Stanton. He struck out looking in the first inning. Hot shot, snagged by Nunez. He'll spin, fire, and get him.
Yeah, you talk about a hot shot. My goodness. This ball is sizzled to third base, and he makes a great pick. Not an easy play. He knows he's got time because the ball was hit so hard. I mean, look at that thing got there in a heartbeat.
And you know what everybody's saying. Oh, he can make that play.
Yeah.
You know, but the one, hey, that's baseball.
Totally.
It was an outstanding effort. Gregorius is 0 for 1. He has flied out to left. He has already set career highs in home runs and in runs scored. 0 for 2 yesterday. Price looking for a bounce back inning as well. Walks have been an issue early for him. That certainly hasn't been the case for so many starts since the All-Star break. He's hardly walked anybody. Gregorius came into the ball game with numbers against Price. 13 for 32. That's 406, including a home run. And the lefty's 2-1. Ricocheting off of Sandy Leon. 2-2.
I'll tell you what, the velocity's been there tonight, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, 94, saw a 95.
Just a little more giddy up than normal.
Maybe that's why his control, his command's a little off. That guy was bringing it last night, huh? As usual.
Evaldi against the Yankees. You have 14 consecutive scoreless innings against them. Brings up the point about postseason and what is off the mitt. You know, if the Red Sox and the Yankees meet in the playoffs, doesn't he have to get a start?
Well, you would think. I mean, you got to think about it, right? Because of 14 innings, you can't overlook that. You just can't.
It just feels like he's a great matchup against the Yankees. They're a very aggressive team. He'll throw that high fastball and get them offering at it.
Confidence sky high.
3-2. Popped him up. Nunez in on the grass to make that catch, and there are 2 down. Time of the Carrington Freight moment brought to you by Old Dominion.
This is a Yankee Stadium home run, and Duhar hits this high fastball. Looks like he's laid on it, fought it off into the seats. Solo piece.
Old Dominion, the official freight carrier of Major League Baseball and the Red Sox. So he's at 25. Leading all rookies with 156 hits, 40 doubles, and 83 RBIs. And he ropes that one down the line. Benintendi giving chase. And Duhar heading into second base, and he will scamper in there, sliding in with a double to go along with his home run.
Boy, these guys, they could swing the bat. 2 balls hit hard. Stanton hit that rocket to third, and you see this cutter down and in, and he cleans it right out of there too. Pitch down. He goes down and gets it. Didn't hit it as hard. That ball sort of dunked in there. When you hit the end of the bat, who knows? Dainty slide at second.
2-out double for Sanchez now. The batter, he has walked and scored a run. He was on the error on the Judge ground ball to Nunez, and he would come in. Two away.
Finally gave him a pitch. Ball's on the corner.
Sanchez is one of those catchers who does not believe in politicking for his own guy. If he feels like
it's me,
he got, you know,
yeah,
something egregious happened to him,
right,
he's gonna let the umpire know it.
It's just strike one. Relax.
Price with the 0-1. He's got him in the hole here. 0-2. And Duhar at second. 3-0 Yankees in the third. Two-strike pitch to Gary Sanchez. And he pokes it foul. Boyd would hit next given the opportunity. Sanchez missed 37 games because of a groin injury.
Make him chase something.
And Price with the 0-2. Fly to center field, driving back Jackie Bradley, but space back there to make the catch and retire the side. One hit, one left. Franks for all you Sox fans. Pick up KM Fenway Franks at your grocer today. KM, together we grill. Red Sox with work to do. And no help coming, of course, from Dustin Pedroia, although he continues to travel with the ball club and working with Rafael Devers and some other guys, sort of as an additional coach these days. 3-0 New York here in the 4th inning. And the Sox to bring up JD Martinez, Xander Bogaerts, and Mitch Moreland, all for their second look at Severino, who could really get into a groove. The Red Sox had an opportunity in the 1st inning. Got runners at 2nd and 3rd with only one man out, kind of a golden chance, but he got Bogaerts to pop up and he got Moreland to ground back to the pitcher, and that was it. Red Sox have gone 1-2-3 each of the last 2 innings against the righty.
Hasn't had to throw that big fastball like you see right there. He's mixed it up. He really has a lot of changeup, sliders.
The 2-0 to Martinez. He slaps that one to right field. Sounded like he busted the bat. That's his second single, 2 for 2 tonight. Good start for the Red Sox in the 4th.
Man, you know you can hit when he hits sliders like that. That's a blade that he doesn't hit very hard, the end of the bat. But that base hit's waiting for him anytime he wants. Look at that thing. That is biting. Just barely caught the end of the bat. Didn't hit it very good, but that was a nasty pitch. What are you supposed to do?
Well, Xander Bogaerts trying to solve the riddle of Severino. Certainly a riddle to him. He's 2 for 22 off him. 0 for 1 with a pop to short tonight.
Whoa.
What happened there?
That's a one-hop strike.
Well, it wasn't a strike.
Ephus pitch.
Wow.
He just tripped. Caught a spike is what happened, I would assume. Yeah, caught a spike on his heel. One-hop paint.
Ball 1.
That's a ball. You know, when it hits the ground, they don't call that a strike.
Big time ball. You can swing the bat on it if you want.
Yeah.
And he got under that, popped it up once again. Gregorius to make the catch. And Xander is 0 for 2. Calling all coaches, the fall season is here. Franklin Sports has you covered. You can deck out your players in custom batting gloves just like Mitch Moreland and join the Franklin family. For more information, email teamsales@franklinsports.com. Moreland with a comebacker in the 1st inning, so he's 0 for 1. Right now, the only Red Sox hits against Severino both belong to JD Martinez. For a called strike. You got a little something extra.
He'll take it.
Mitch with 14 home runs, and all but 1 have come against right-handers. Ian Kinsler on deck. And knocked foul out of play. 15 home runs for Mitch Moreland. Red Sox for the year are 8-6 head-to-head against the Yankees after last night's defeat. And another series to come.
You know, Severino in the 1st half only gave up 6 home runs, and he went through a spell of 7 starts where he gave up 11, giving up 19 on the year.
Quick pitch. 3-2. Severino with a little bit of trickery once in a while.
Here's a guy who throws 98. Trying to quick pitch. trickster.
And struck him out. And back to that slider to get him. 2 down.
I mean, he backs up that gas with this slider inside, and it just eats him up. He can't get there. This ball ties him up. Can't get that head out. The ball's hard to keep fair to begin with when it's biting inside like that.
Kinsler is 0 for 1. He's popped up to second. Yankees had 3-0 fourth inning. The inning began with that base hit by Martinez, but now pop up and a strikeout. And it's up to Kinsler to keep it going. And he pops that one up on the infield. And Torres there to make the catch. And that is all. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Will donate $50 to the Greater Boston Food Bank. Yankees coming up here in the home half of the fourth inning. On top 3-0. They get all those runs in the second on a home run, a walk, a base hit, another walk, and then a big E5 to bring it a pair. Voit was part of that with a single, and he scored a run. And he cuts and misses for strike 1. So far, Price has walked 3. He's given up the home run to Andujar, but his defense certainly let him down.
Yeah, it's going to happen. You're going to make an error. You just hope it doesn't cost you. Couldn't get any worse. Bases loaded, 2 outs.
He's come back to make an outstanding defensive play. Price with an 0-2. Fly ball well hit right field. Martinez on the run, turning around. It's gone. Boy, right field has been kind to the Yankees tonight. That's their second home run there. And now take a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, you can squawk all you want. I mean, it's not going to do you any good. You know, 0-2 pitch fastball away, and this is what can happen. And late on a fastball doesn't look at that. Just flicks it. He's so late on this fastball, but he's a big boy now. He just flicks that thing. I don't know how far that is. What would you say, 340?
Maybe.
But home run number 8, and he hasn't been here that long.
Well, that's the formula. Go that way, and this one popped up high by Torres. Martinez will make the catch. So 1 man away.
Yeah, Tuesday, September 25th is Pedro Martinez bobblehead night at Fenway Park. First 10,000 fans in attendance will receive a duct tape Pedro bobble presented by Old Dominion Freight Line. For more information, visit redsox.com/promos.
McCutchen has taken a couple of walks in this one in the first and again in the second. 4-0 Yankees. Price, by the way, has allowed 8 home runs this season to the Yankees. Out of the 22 he's allowed in total.
Yankee Stadium, he's given up 7.
Rattle toward third. Another nice play by Nunez. He'll skip the throw and get him at first base. So he's made a couple of dandies over there. 2 down.
He goes on his knees and he takes this ball. Look at him go down on his knees and slides here. One knee, gets back up, and one hops it over to first base. And nicely done. Once again, 2 good plays and then a giant costly 2-run error. But that's nice. That's big right there for Price. Rooting him on.
He's taken away a couple of hits. Here's Judge. He's lined to second and reached on the error as he hits that one foul for strike 1. Hicks on deck.
Tomorrow at 6, don't miss Red Sox First Pitch presented by Joseph Abboud. Available at Men's Warehouse. TC, Jim, and Steve will break down David Price's start.
That's a home run swing. 0-2 on Judge. He's their DH tonight after playing right field last night. Made 1 out where he flied right to the 314 mark in right field in last night's Yankees victory. Base is empty. Another run in to make it 4-zip New York. 1-2 broken bat right back to David Price, and he lobs on to get him. That'll retire the side, but now 4-0 Yankees. 2013 champions, game number 152 that year. Red Sox lost to Baltimore 3-2. Danny Valencia tripled, scored the decisive run, giving Koji his first loss of the season. Not many down moments for Koji in 2013.
Well,
it was
got
his
it
year.
done in a hurry.
And with great excitement and enthusiasm.
That orange glove.
That orange glove. Eduardo Nunez 0 for 1. He's lined to short. Hit the ball hard. Hit it very low, but snatched up by Gregorius. There's a shot down the line. That's a fair ball. They'll keep on bounding down the line. McCutcheon to play it off the wall and into second base. Eduardo Nunez with a double. Time now for our social drive, and here's Casey back in the studio.
Comeback starts now, right? So last night the Orioles, they became the first professional sports team to wear Braille jerseys. Team and player names spelled out in Braille, and fans actually were given Braille alphabet cards so they could spell out their favorite players' names. It was all to celebrate the National Federation of the Blind night and the 40th anniversary of moving its headquarters to Baltimore. That's your Rams Social Drive.
Very nice. Thank you, Casey. A leadoff double here for Nunez will bring up Sandy Leon. Trying to bust out of a skid here. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout tonight. Red Sox with a man in scoring position right away against Severino. Red Sox in dire need of offense. Didn't get much last night. Can talk all you want about the bullpen, but the Red Sox only got 2 runs in that game, and one of those was an absolute gift.
Yeah, everybody talks about how it ends and somebody, you know, when the games are close like that.
Yep.
But you should have scored more runs. And Sandy's having a heck of a time at the plate. That breaking ball ate him up last time up.
Bradley on deck, and then Mookie Betts. Here's the 1-1. And there's a shot to right field, a base hit. That'll drive in the run. Nunez in to score. And Sandy Leon busting an 0 for 30 with an RBI base hit to put the Red Sox on the scoreboard.
You gotta be looking breaking ball. You know, he looked so bad on the breaking ball right there, and Severino was going to go to it sooner or later. He didn't bury it. Threw it for a strike, and he got the head out and hit this ball down the line. This is huge for him. He'd been struggling so badly, and he needs this hit, and the Red Sox get them going. Nobody out. RBI, yes.
His 22nd. Jackie Bradley 0 for 1, struck out first time up. And the Red Sox trying to put up one of their patented innings. One of those crooked numbers to climb right back in it against Severino. Shot into left field. McCutcheon will cut that off. He makes the play.
Tomorrow at 6:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU. TC, Jim, and Steve will preview the pitching matchup between Eduardo Rodriguez and Masahiro Tanaka. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
Well, Mookie Betts back in the lineup tonight with a walk and a ground out. He is 0 for 1. Trying to continue his fine work against the Yankees. Came in and hitting over 400 against New York this season as he takes a strike. Jackie Bradley made it out there, but he hit that ball hard to left.
Yes, he did.
Red Sox, frankly, are overdue for a big fly. Mookie has hit 29.
Hang it.
2-1. Each side now 4 hits. Yankees have hit a pair of home runs. Benintendi on deck. And Severino with a 2-1. This is a shot foul. Red Sox getting very good swings in this inning against the righty. Two and two.
You're not going to see a fastball. He saw a changeup right there. He's all over it.
Leona first. And it's 3-2.
Trying to set up that slider.
Severino, a 17-game winner. He's 17-8. Working on extended rest here tonight. He's working on 6 days rest. And down he goes, 98.
Boy, he brought it, man. He said, here, hit this. That's that 6 days rest will get you some hair, huh? Look at this thing. This ball is brought. It's hard to catch up, even one of the best fastball hitters in the game. Kind of surprised him with it.
So 2 gone. Here's Benintendi. He's flied out and grounded out tonight. Facing a guy he likes to face, and hits a little ground ball to first, knocked down by Voit. They'll flip on to Severino in time to get there to retire the side. Red Sox get 1. Lesson is brought to you by Lexus and the Lexus Strikes Out Hunger Program. Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Your local New England Ford dealers, and by Harbor One Bank, ranked the #1 bank in Massachusetts by Forbes. At the midway point, Yankees had 4-1 here in Game 2. Red Sox trying to clinch the AL East for the 3rd year in a row, but work to do tonight. Aaron Hicks will lead it off. He is grounded out and flied out, 0 for 2. David Price into his 5th inning. And Duhar and Voit with home runs tonight. Hit sharply on the line. Benintendi there to make the play on a sinking line drive, and Hicks is 0 for 3.
Catch a condensed 2-hour version of the Red Sox game at midnight in Sox and 2. Sox and 2 is brought to you by Cumberland Farms, where you can get an iced coffee for 99 cents, any size, any day.
Stanton was called out on strikes in the first inning. He's also grounded out to third. One down in the Yankee fifth. Price is trying to do something in this inning he's yet to accomplish tonight. Let's get them in order.
Boy, that pitch count for him, 72 pitches, 1 out in the fourth. He hasn't seen that for a while. He's been so efficient. He's just been perfect for so many starts.
Oh, 2. Line foul quickly into the netting.
That guy hits the ball so hard.
He breaks a lot of bats too. I'll have to get a new one.
He hit a ball in the third deck last night, foul off of Cuevas, a changeup, and look at this. He breaks his bat, but man.
Price has the upper hand. 0-2 on Stanton. Gregorius would be next. And pop that one up on the infield. Moreland there. Pitch on the grass for the catch. 2 down. Ace Ticket is Boston's trusted source for tickets to all Sox games at Fenway. Better seats, better service, and lower prices. Go to aceticket.com right now. Sox will be home for the final week of the regular season right before postseason play, taking on Baltimore and these Yankees. And then October. Gregorius is flied out, popped up 0 for 2. Phillips along with the manager. Tomorrow night, finale of the series, Eduardo Rodriguez against Tanaka. Going to be a foul ball off the line. Rodriguez has had some great outings against the Yankees.
Yeah, here in New York.
Loves this mound. And facing the Yankees here, I think he has thrown harder in his career in this ballpark than any place else.
And then last time out, speaking of just the opposite, he was changing speeds. He's throwing the ball all over the place, in and out. I like that version of Erod. Not necessarily the guy bringing it.
And Tanaka 12-5, Rodriguez 12-4. ERAs are almost identical. Around 3.5. High fly right field, but this one right down the line, and that ball is foul. Eduardo Rodriguez with an ERA of 3 here. He is 2-3, but he's pitched some great games here. He was touching 97, 98 the last time he pitched here.
He'll be using that changeup, I would assume, tomorrow a lot.
Nobody aboard, 2 down. And one hopper there to Moreland. He'll take it himself to the bag. And a good quick inning for David Price. He gets him 1-2-3. Organizer Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electric with TC, Jim, and Steve in the pregame. They highlighted Mookie as hot entering the game. Gary Sanchez is cold. Here's how they're faring so far tonight. 6th inning, 4-1. Yankees have the lead. JD Martinez has been perfect tonight against Severino. 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. He'll lead off the inning, followed by Bogarts and then Mitch Moreland. Red Sox looking to chip away against Severino, who's allowed 4 hits. David Price has also allowed 4. Broken bat looper, and that'll dunk down, and he's 3 for 3.
Yeah, back-to-back broken bats. He'll take it. Base hit. Start this rally. Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC, Jim, and Steve will break down key plays of the game. You'll hear from David Price and Alex Cora. Who but WB Mason, celebrating over 20 years of same-day delivery.
The 11th time this season that JD Martinez has posted a 3-hit game. Brings up Xander Bogaerts, who's popped up twice against Severino. And inside, ball 1.
Oh, floated that changeup. Xander's trying to figure him out.
Pitch number 70 for the righty. 1-1. Early on, it looked like it might be a wild night for Severino. His first 6 pitches of the ball game all missed, but he has not walked anybody since then. Two and 1.
It's almost like he's saving that 98 miles an hour like he did to Mookie, huh? He just almost unexpected.
Reared back.
A little change up here, 2-1. See if they change it. Nope.
Two and 2. On another change at 87.
That changeup just sort of follows him inside. He's fighting it off. And he's got that gas just waiting for you. Watch this changeup kind of float into him. You know, ties him up a little bit. And heads up for that cheese.
2-2. He fought it off. That was the 98-mile-an-hour Swifty.
That is hot. You wonder why he's hard to hit. He's one of the toughest right-handers. When he's got his stuff and this kind of gas, forget about it. I mean, whew, right down the middle, and he's late as can be.
He's got the stuff of an ace. No doubt about that. He was 14-2 prior to the All-Star break with a .231 earned run average. Just 3-6 since the break.
A little softy here.
And popped up down the line, and Duhar and Gregorius racing for it, and Duhar makes the play in foul territory. Nice long running catch.
How about that catch?
So Xander Bogaerts pops up. Time for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Here's TC. Wow, he took a shot. Oh, how about that play moments ago?
My goodness. They went all the way to the outfield. And this play was a great over the head catch. You saw that Didi got in the way. Didi probably would have caught it too.
Here's Moreland. He's 0 for 2. Runner at first, 1 down. Red Sox trailing by 3 runs here in the top of the 6th. Foul tipped into the mid.
Yeah, I can't catch up with that upstairs. No chance. Tied him up with the slider last time up, struck out.
Moreland trying to snap an 0 for 10. And just got a piece of that, not held by Sanchez.
You follow up that gas with that changeup that's moving down and away, and you are lucky to even foul tip this ball to stay alive. Just he foul tipped that, huh? It's hard to see there.
Well, that's exactly what Aaron Boone wants to know. The umpire Guccione confirming that to the Yankee dugout that he foul tipped it.
Must have heard it. I didn't see it. Another changeup. He likes that thing.
Now Sox finally got on the board against him last inning. Nunez with a double, and then Sandy Leon brought him in with an RBI single. The Red Sox had some pretty good swings against him. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Even up on Moreland. We may be about to see that 98 again.
You just hope he makes a mistake and somebody loses one. Get back in this game.
Yeah, that right field porch is beckoning. Here's the 2-2. Followed that all the way into the mid. Went with a changeup, 3-2 to count. Kinsler on deck. He's 0 for 2 tonight. J.D. Martinez at first.
Try to lay off that high fastball. Tough to do. Got to get the head out. Ooh.
And he struck him out. Came back at 98 miles an hour to Fan Moreland. He gets him for the second time.
Man, that was a tough at bat. See the fastball. I don't think he was trying to throw it there. He's trying to throw it away. Kind of cut inside, but it's got something on it now. It's a strike. 98. My goodness.
2 away. Ian Kinsler has popped to the second baseman twice tonight. 4-1 Yankees. And slider for strike 1.
Mm.
99. 0-2.
You don't have to say anything about that. Just look at it. You just can't swing at it because you can't get there. And I'll tell you what, Kinsler can hit a fastball.
0-2. And knocked down by the catcher Sanchez. Keep that runner at first base.
Who's going to block that thing, Matt? That's impossible. He got lucky. I mean, this is a slider as hard as you can. That ball hits the ground, you know which way it's going to go. It came back to him. Luckily, he's got a body there. Look how far in front of the plate he throws that.
Eduardo Nunez ripped a double his last time up, hoping to bat in this inning. 2-2 on Kinsler with Martinez aboard. And popped him up once again. And Duhar around third. Side retired. Nothing comes to the leadoff base hit by J.D. Martinez. Bottom of the sixth inning coming up. Yankees up 4-1 on the Sox here. A refreshing finish brought to you by Coors Light.
You see the play here over the shoulder there by Andujar. Not an easy play. I don't know if Didi would have caught that ball. They're both on it, but still nice play.
Andujar will lead off the inning against David Price. He has belted a home run to right. He's also doubled. And it's Sanchez and Voit. Lofted to right, down into the corner, but that'll twist foul. The guys due up in this inning are responsible for all of the Yankees scoring tonight. Voit has scored twice, in fact, the number 8 hitter. Sanchez walked and scored in the second inning. Andujar hit a home run. And the 1-1 sock to left center field. Deep drive there. Benintendi back. He's on the track to get it. Long way to go, but finally Andujar makes an out. One away in the sixth. Enjoy a large or extra large Dunkin' coffee for a chance to win great prizes. No purchase necessary. Ends October 15 or while supplies last.
You talk about a crazy game. You know, you hit a ball like that. Where do you hit that ball? At least 375, 380, right? Routine fly ball at the track. Then he hits a bomb 340.
Here's Sanchez, a walk and a run. He's also flied out. So he is 6 out of 13 lifetime against David Price, who surrendered 5 home runs to him. Yankees have hit a pair tonight. And Joe Kelly, who's had an interesting trip to New York. Loosening in the bullpen. Nice followed by a 3-0 on Sanchez.
Careful here.
Walks have popped up for Price. Nice walk 3 men.
It's unheard of. This wouldn't be such a bad walk.
In for a strike. Sanchez with 16 home runs. If not for a couple of groin injuries, probably have a lot more than that. And he will take that walk for the second time. So 4 of those by Price tonight. But the guy coming up has been all sorts of trouble. Boyd with a base hit and a home run. Time to Built for Baseball, presented by T-Mobile.
Once again, Yankee Stadium home run here. You see, fastball away, I believe. Who knows? So late on it, who cares what it was, but it's gone.
Sanchez on with 1 down. Well, Boyd's giving them a nice lift. It seems like when the Yankees need that guy, be it a rookie, we've had a couple of those guys, Torres and Duhar, have been really, really good for them. Or in a trade, they got Voit. Those guys have been really good for them. Wave and a miss right through that changeup. Price's pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket.
Yeah, those 2 unearned runs are just humongous right now, and the 4 walks unheard of this year for him. Pitch count crawling up.
So far, only 1 of the walks has come on in to score, and that was on the error.
I mean, there's a sense of, you know, careful when you come to Yankee Stadium. You can't help but think that with Price. I don't think he's real comfortable here, to say the least.
I don't think a lot of pitchers are.
No. I hated this place. Not this place, but the old one. Used to have a bunch, all left-handed lineup. It was ridiculous. Everybody's trying to hook the ball out of the ballpark.
One out, 1 on, 4-1 New York in the 6th. Two and 2.
You see that changeup? He's thrown a lot of kind of, for him, not good changeups. You know, he just sort of shoves it in the ground, right? I mean, just non-competitive.
Where for many starts, it's been absolutely money for him.
Totally.
It's been a strikeout pitch. 2 and 2.
Backdoor cutter again.
Fly to right again.
No.
Martinez back again. And looking up, and that ball gets out of here.
Oh.
That's his second home run tonight. It barely got out.
But talk about barely. That ball would have probably hit the top of the fence. I think somebody put their hand there. But you've got to be kidding me.
Voit with his second home run, the third one allowed by Price tonight, and that'll make it 6-1.
I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, you can't whine about it. Here's a changeup. He throws a changeup out over, and hits it good enough. Huh? He hit that like he knew it was gone, and it was in the first row.
He did know it was gone. He's clapping his hand.
Who styles on a ball that's in the first row? He knew it was gone. Boy, he's living in it tonight.
He sure is. Umpires huddling there. Went 343 feet. And they are going to take a look here.
It's like he knew that ball was gone. We're going to find out.
Did a fan touch it?
I thought so. My first look was a fan. But I think it would have made it.
I think so too.
I mean, by the hair of your chinny chin right there, huh?
So this will be a crew chief review. They'll look at it, but that ball looked like it was over the wall anyway.
You know what that is? That is a tired tater. I mean, that is just ridiculous.
Right now, it's their third home run. And all between 6, 7, and 8. And a 6-1 Yankee lead.
I mean, if you're Price right now, you're saying you got to be kidding me. I mean, it's one thing getting juiced. It's another thing just, whoa.
They've been able to take advantage of it.
Yeah,
it is a home run.
343.
Yes.
341. I mean, that ball, what is that? I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, here
and
comes
then you get the hook after that. I mean, go sit with that. That's one of the toughest ones. You know, it's so bad that it's almost laughable, you know.
Well, they all count.
Yep.
As you said, it's the same dimensions for everybody.
You're right.
They are cozy. And 3 times they've hit it out there to right field, found the right field for sure. They make it 6-1.
Price has given up almost half of his home runs in this ballpark in a matter of what, 9 innings, really.
A walk to Sanchez before that.
Yeah, tonight's what, a 5 1/3, and I think that time he gave up 5 home runs was only 3 2/3.
You can't feel like you got hit hard.
No, I mean, you know.
And yet you're down 6-1.
How do you get upset? It's just this Yankee Stadium thing with Price. It's just it's got to be in your head. His control was off tonight, but he got doinked. How do you give up 3 doinkered home runs?
And Duhar with 1, and Voit with a pair, and Joe Kelly. It was on TV earlier today with Ryan Seacrest.
That's his look-alike, I'm told.
Yeah. Well, that's what Ryan Seacrest thinks. He put on a Red Sox cap. Joe was in the stands in the audience today, watching the show, and he got on. Seacrest brought out a Red Sox cap, put it on, and they did the old split screen.
Yeah, you got to take those goggles off to even know, but he kind of does, huh? I think.
I can see it, absolutely. Well, time now for our high strength steel play, brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers and a Chevy Silverado.
And Luke Voit has had a night tonight. 3 for 3, 2 home runs. Whatever you want to say about it, doesn't matter. It's 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, and it broke David Price's back. This right field bleachers here.
Well, he is a slugger right out of Central Casting, isn't he?
Totally.
I thought it was a great call earlier. You said that's Dante Bichette.
Yes.
Including the opposite field power.
But he knew that ball was gone. How do you know a ball's gone when it just, I mean, how do you know that?
Clapping his hands 30 feet out of the batter's box.
Exactly.
I don't know. He knew it though. So Kelly coming on to take on Gleyber Torres, the number 9 man. Yankees have opened up a 6-1 lead here in the 6th. Torres has struck out, flying to right. Yankees with only 5 hits, but 3 of them have gotten over the fence.
And that's how they did it last night. One swing of the bat cost the Red Sox the game. They live and die on home runs.
Sure do. And a timeout. Chris Guccione, make sure he gets in another area code away from the pitcher.
When he calls timeout,
someone calls timeout,
he just bolts.
I'm out of there. Especially if that guy throws 100. Did he hold up? They do appeal, and he did check.
The only way to tell is to get the head out in front of the plate. He held up.
And Kelly with a 1-1. Wave and a miss.
There's a Cambio for you. He's got a good changeup.
Hector Velasquez warming in the bullpen. As David Price is knocked out here in the 6th inning. Now McCutchen on deck. Really all the damage has been done in the bottom part of the order. And particularly by Voit, but you know, Sanchez has scored a couple of runs after taking a walk tonight. And Duhar, the number 6 hitter, with a home run. And Voit with 2 of them. One-two to Torres.
Joe's trying to work his way into this roster spot. That's what I think. There's a lot of decisions to be made, and he needs to throw the ball good.
He was charged with a blown save in Sunday's win against the Mets. Looking for the punch out here. 3-2.
I mean, he finds his way to 3-2.
Red Sox came to Yankee Stadium needing to win 1 of the 3 to wrap up the division. Fell last night 3-2 down here 6-1 in game 2. And a bounding ball along the line. It's a fair ball. Nunez will fire on to get him. 2 down.
The fastest sport on skates is coming to Boston. Watch as athletes race down a 2,000-foot ice track, reaching speeds of 50 miles per hour during Red Bull Crashed Ice, February 8th and 9th in Fenway. Tickets are on sale now, available at redbullcrashedice.com.
McCutchen with a pair of walks. He's also tapped to third. I don't know if the Sox and Yankees did meet in a division series. The way Eovaldi has pitched against the Yankees, and wait through here last night, and the way Rodriguez has pitched against the Yankees here, you'd love to have those guys lined up to pitch here.
And then you think the other way around too with the Yankees. I mean, they're formidable to say the least. You know, the way the Red Sox swing the bat off of Happ, you see what Severino is capable of, and Tanaka could throw a gem. I mean, they're no easy team to go try to get past here.
Sure.
I mean, there's a real good chance that's who the Red Sox are going to face.
Well, they have won 92 games.
Yes.
But the Red Sox would get to open up such a series at Fenway. where you would assume it would be Sale and then Price.
And Sale has numbers out of this world against New York. Here, Boston, whatever. I think especially here, the numbers are incredible.
And the last time Price took on the Yankees at Fenway, he was very tough. 6 innings. And a victory over the Yankees at Fenway Park. And you know, Valdi was terrific here last night.
After tonight, you don't want Price in this ballpark. Just, I mean, even be, you know, they don't even hit it good, they hit it out.
0-2 to McCutchen. He stung that for a base hit. So he's aboard for the 3rd time tonight. 2 walks and a single. And Judge will be next.
McCutchen, he can hit some high gas. Tonight, after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, we'll have a full recap of tonight's Sox game. Plus, we'll have the latest Bruins preseason news from Boston and China. NESN Sports Today is presented by People's United Bank, where the technology is as helpful as the people.
One of the biggest plays of the ball game was when Judge hit a ground ball with the bases loaded in the 2nd inning, right through the legs of Nunez, and 2 runs would score on that, helping the Yankees to then a 3-0 lead. Now they're on top 6-1. He has gone 0 for 3. McCutchen on with 2 down. Here's the 0-1 from Joe Kelly.
Well, they get a good swing on that Hunter, don't they? They must see it.
They would like to see more swings and misses. And when Joe's been good, and early in the season he was phenomenal for long stretches, he's getting a lot more of those swings and misses. Trying to get one here out of Judge on the 0-2. Tampa Bay won again today. They beat Texas 9-3. Nobody wants anything to do with the Rays here down the stretch. They won 9 out of 10. And they now have 85 wins.
I don't know how Leon just caught that breakable. I think he got crossed up and still caught it. And he fired it back to Joe, too. I sensed a little anger. I don't know why.
You did.
Yeah.
One, 2 to Judge. Little flare into right field for a base hit. McCutchen rounds. He's into 3rd. And Judge has his first hit since getting back into the lineup. Base hit to right.
This is the pitch before. You're going to see Joe Kelly throw a curveball. Watch this catch by Leon. I mean, he must have got crossed up. Watch him fire it back. Next pitch, he throws a fastball up in his eyes. He fights it off. A little dorker out there in right field. And Duhar goes to 3rd base. Yankees are having their way with the Red Sox tonight. Not exactly crushing it, but it works.
So Judge at first, McCutchen at 3rd. Hicks the batter. He's gone 0 for 3. And the Yankees can put a real serious hurt on the Red Sox here. If Hicks gets hold of one, he has 24 home runs. Seven hits now for New York. Sox been held to 5 against Severino. Finale of this series coming up tomorrow night at 7:05. Eduardo Rodriguez against Masahiro Tanaka, both 12-game winners, and the Red Sox move on to Cleveland. And another very tough opponent. That drops in for a strike at 85. 1-1. Tanaka 12-5, a 347 earned run average. Two out, two aboard.
We've seen everything Joe Kelly has in this one inning. Change-ups, curveball, slider, high gas, everything. He's like a starting pitcher.
Velasquez is all warmed up. If he gets the call. 2-1. Red Sox will be in Cleveland over the weekend, including Sunday Night Baseball against the Indians. For that last week of the regular season, the Baltimore Orioles, 3 against the Orioles, and then 3 against these Yankees to finish up the regular season. And Kelly's 2-2 to Hicks. And a line drive into right field. Nobody out there. That's going to go all the way to the wall. McCutchen in to score. They're going to wave in Judge. He's going to come in to score. Down to third, a triple for Hicks to drive in a pair. 8-1 Yankees.
Well, the Yankees are putting a hurting on the Red Sox. Hicks saw everything from Kelly, and then he ropes the ball down the right field line. I guess you got to tip your hat. Look at this. This is a slider he leaves out over the middle of the plate. He is all over this. He's lucky this ball stays in the ballpark. It's a very hittable pitch, to say the least.
All for Kelly. You talked about a guy trying to make the roster.
Yeah, this is not good
for postseason. So the Yankees open up a 7-run lead. And Velasquez coming on, looking for that elusive third out, third triple of the year for Hicks. He's driven in 71. And the Yankees making a statement here these first couple of nights, trying to prevent the Red Sox from wrapping up the division at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, they're putting a hurting on the Red Sox, regardless about the cheap home runs or whatever. They're just making their statement. The Red Sox came in here, and the Yankees do not want them to clinch, obviously.
Hicks with the triple. Voigt's also homered in the inning. They've hit 3 home runs tonight. And Velasquez trying to bring some order here. David Price knocked out after 5 1/3.
But like you said, that's not a good showing for Kelly when we're looking to make some decisions.
Well, Stanton will be the next man in, but Velasquez gets warm-up tosses in. 8-1 Yankees.
CVS Health is investing $50 million over 5 years to extend their commitment to helping people lead tobacco-free lives and move us one step closer towards a tobacco-free generation. Learn more at cvshealth.com/be-the-first.
Well, only the 6th inning, but the Yankees have really opened it up here in Game 2. Stanton so far has gone 0 for 3 in this one. Time to check out the upcoming schedule, brought to you by your local Buick dealer. Another one left here in the Bronx. Red Sox will have one more to play, and then it's on to Cleveland. Baltimore and the Yankees coming to Fenway Park before postseason play gets underway in the month of October. Red Sox have to wrap up the division, and down 8-1 tonight. Runner at third, 2 down for Stanton, who has struck out, grounded out, popped up tonight. He's not been part of it, at least not yet, for the Yankees. So the Sox have to go back to the bullpen for the second time. And the Yankees are still getting a strong effort out of Severino, who has held the Red Sox to 1 run, 5 hits. Yankees with 3 runs in the second, a run in the fourth. So far 4 runs in the 6th inning. In support of the young right-hander. Good changeup at 84. 1-2.
I think that's his best pitch, and he just mixes it up so well.
And he struck him out. That'll finally end it. But a 4-run 6th inning, and the Yankees lead it 8-1. Yes, imagining a world without cancer isn't their dream, it's their job. Learn about the standard of cure and promising research at BIDMC, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. Luke Voit with a pair of home runs. He's 3 for 3, in fact. And the Yankees are now on top 8-1 as we go to the 7th inning. Severino back at it against Nunez, who doubled off him the last time and is 1 for 2. 8 runs, 8 hits for New York, 1 run on 5 hits, and a big error for the Red Sox.
Long inning, a long wait for Severino. I'm surprised he came out here, but you know the pitch count is so low. What, 88 right now? That's exactly why he's still in this game.
Yeah, in fact, nobody warming up in their bullpen. In tight, that missed.
Pretty impressive if you think about it, and that goes back like what you said. The first 6 pitches were balls. The Red Sox needed to score in the first inning.
Yep.
They needed to score in that first inning.
He also uncorked a wild pitch.
Right.
So the Red Sox had runners at second and third and 1 away. Tagged into left center field. Hicks trying to cut that off. He will. 1 down. Well, the Red Sox on their way to the playoffs. NESN ratings have been so strong. Another factor is NESN availability. As you can see, there are more ways than ever to get NESN. To see a complete list, check out NESN.com.
Dave, you know, watching TV can get so confusing nowadays.
Really can.
There's so many options.
Many options.
So many.
Just got to focus in. As you do so well. That one flared out of play by Sandy Leon. Sandy came up with a base hit to drive in a run. It's a hit he really needed in the 5th inning.
That was a big hit for him. I mean, he was scuffling for so long. Got himself a little breaking ball. Hit it down the line.
One and two.
You know, I go back to that cross up or whatever it was with Kelly, and he kind of fired the ball back at Kelly, and I kind of wondered before that, Kelly kind of calls his own game. You know, and here's the one of the best catchers in the game, and I could see how a catcher would get upset, saying, "Hey, listen, I called this. Why don't you stay with me?"
That happened to you? You ever have a catcher like fire?
Yeah,
one
when
back
I was young. You know, when I was young, it's like you do what they say.
Yep.
And I didn't like to do what they say. You know, you get somebody you can throw it hard, you can right back at you.
Long run here for Andujar to foul ground. Oh, put that away. So 2 gone in the Red Sox 7th for Jackie Bradley. But you told me the great story about when your manager was a Hall of Fame manager, Frank Robinson, when you were, you know, just a kid, but 20 years old, and you came up just slinging it, running away with win after win, and you had a Hall of Famer on the flight, right?
Oh yeah, Gaylord Perry.
Gaylord Perry. And Gaylord, you know, Gaylord was the #1 guy, right? That was on the Indians.
Well, see, they had a thing, Gaylord and
Frank.
And Frank.
Yeah.
Frank said, or Gaylord said, I want $1 more than he's making. So you know they didn't get along very well.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew this, and Frank wanted me to sign a ball for the stewardess or something, and I was on a roll. I was styling, and I wrote on the ball my name, and then I put the ace in parentheses.
You were 20 years old.
Oh yeah, I thought I was being funny, and Frank took it right straight to Gaylord. Gaylord, look at this. He thinks he's the ace.
Yeah.
That didn't go over real well.
Gaylord didn't take
But they
it
traded
away.
Gaylord, luckily, about a month later, so everything's good.
Well, you were the ace.
No, I mean, whatever.
20 years old. Yeah, he didn't.
It's just a good story, but it's the truth,
yeah.
you know.
And it showed you had tremendous
I
confidence,
was trying to be funny.
and you were trying to be funny.
Yeah.
The ace.
Yeah.
I'd like to get my hands on that baseball today. That'd be worth something.
That's when we flew with, you know, commercial.
Yeah.
People
have no
on
idea.
the plane.
You guys used to get on commercial flights just like the rest of us.
Yes.
After a game, you'd be boarding a flight.
And we kept having to tell the people, we get 3 seats. We get the middle seat because somebody started, anybody sitting there? I said, we get these seats. And they're like, oh, you ball players.
Yeah. Ground ball toward the hole. Sliding stab. Torres, but not a good throw. And Jackie Bradley will have a base hit. With 2 down here in the 7th inning.
Not an easy thing to do to get a base hit in that hole right there. This would have taken a great play by Severino. You see this ball gets past Voit. Torres gets it, but just not a very good throw. If he makes a good throw, he might be out. I'm surprised Torres went on one knee. I guess that's how he does it, but it's a base hit, whatever.
Jackie 1 for 3. Mookie Betts now. Mookie's 0 for 2 of the walk. Started the ball game by taking 4 pitches outside the zone by Severino, and eventually made his way down to third, but the Red Sox could not get him in. Jonathan Holder now up in the bullpen for the Yankees. So they finally get some activity out there.
Last time up, Mookie got blown away with a fastball. You don't see that very often.
High 98.
Oh, yeah. 3-2 gas.
That'll skip away. Came up to actually strike Mookie Betts, and a runner holds at first.
Severino's not the easiest guy to catch when he fires those sliders in the dirt. Johnny Bench would have a tough time.
What was the story on Johnny Bench? How many baseballs he could hold in his hand? His hands were so
I know. How
huge.
many is it? How many is it?
It was like
6?
6 or 7 baseballs he could hold in his hand.
I don't know.
Fouled back at a big cut.
He had big mitts, literally.
Big mitts. Biggest hand I ever shook
He had
in
a big
baseball.
squash too.
Yeah. Biggest hand I ever shook in baseball is Lee Smith.
Yes.
He shook my elbow when I went to shake his
Oh
hand.
yeah.
Huge.
That baseball looked like a little golf ball when
Yeah.
you threw it.
1 and 2 on Mookie. Benintendi on deck. Another one of those sliders in the dirt. He's up to 106 pitches.
Yeah, no sense stretching this guy out. 9-1 game.
Going to be his last hitter.
Stress pieces. He's yanking sliders in the dirt.
Crowd urging him to end it, if it is the end for him tonight, with a flare. And he went 98 high again.
And he's on it. I mean, you're coming out of your shoes in a 9-1 game. Pitch number 105, 98 miles an hour. To me, those are the kind of pitches that hurt the next day. Right? Especially late in the season, late September.
Well, Severino is their ace, and he's pitched like one tonight. Despite kind of a rocky start. 2-2. He's allowed the Red Sox only 1 run, 6 hits.
Most pitches he's ever thrown is 115.
Holder looks ready.
Holder's the kid that gave up that 8-run inning back in Fenway. You remember that? That was unheard of.
It's a track meet for the Red Sox. 2-2 to Betts. And he struck him out.
Look at him go off. Look at this.
Time to save big at Nissan's Take Home a Titan Truck Month event. VA Healthcare, serving those who served. Visit Nesson.com/veteran to learn more. Your New England Audi dealers, get behind the wheel of the Audi you've always wanted. And by Kenyon Grills, the official grill of the Boston Red Sox. Well, the Yankees up 8-1 as we move on to the bottom half of the 7th inning. A couple of changes for the Red Sox, and Swihart now in the game in right field for Martinez. Travis is the new left fielder in for Benintendi. Zue Lin is the shortstop in for Bogarts. And Brandon Phillips taking over at second base, so wholesale changes.
Almost the whole infield.
Velasquez staying on to pitch into his second inning. It's been a 3-home run night for the Yankees so far. Some of the celebs on hand. John O'Hurley, remember him from Seinfeld, and Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad, among many other things. I saw him on Broadway as LBJ. He was terrific.
Talented guy. I love Breaking Bad. Got into it.
You one of those who started watching it, couldn't stop?
Yeah, or somebody told me about it and I just saw a lot of them in a hurry. A little binge piece.
Yeah, they're pretty serious baseball fans. They're here frequently.
Sometimes it's hard to sleep after watching one of those.
Well, bottom of the 7th inning. Yankees coming up here with Gregorius and Duhar and Sanchez. David Price knocked out 5 1/3 and would be on the hook right now. Tough outing for Joe Kelly, and now Velasquez taking on 5, 6, and 7. Toward the gap, long run. Jackie Bradley runs it down. Fine play for Jackie. One gone. And Gregorius now 0 for 4.
You can't get away with that. You got Jackie Bradley out there making it routine.
What do you think? What does your gut tell you? Is this the year Jackie wins the Gold Glove in center field?
I'd like to think so. I mean, who are you going to give it to? Kiermaier again? Or I don't know if he got it last year or not. I'm not sure.
He did not. But you get the feeling this might be Jackie's turn.
Got a lot of attention, for the most part, nationally.
I mean, he's made his normal array of spectacular catches and home run saving plays. We shall see. And Duhar with a home run, a double, and a fly to left. It's a high fly down the left field line, but foul. Tomorrow night, Eduardo Rodriguez against Masahiro Tanaka. That's the last regular season meeting here in New York. Still another series to come at Fenway. But who knows if the Red Sox will be back here again in October. What will the Red Sox bullpen look like at that time? What will the rotation look like for postseason play?
When's Barnes coming back? Probably not this weekend. You think this weekend? No, probably back when Baltimore comes in.
That's my guess.
Yeah,
yep. And Alex Cora keeps talking about Matt Barnes as a key man to get back in that bullpen. Big part of it.
Well, you know who he likes is Brazier is who he likes. Saw he went to him last night, and that was a second guess. You can almost second guess last night.
Well, I thought he had Pointer warming up for a reason. I thought they were going to turn around Walker.
Right, because Walker had no numbers right-handed, and then Pointer would have gotten Vogt, right? That's who he would have faced.
Yeah, I think they probably would have brought him in. That one pulled to left. That has a chance. It's deep. Racing back Travis, reaching for it. Nice running play, and then into the wall to hang on.
What a great play by Travis. I mean, his face got planted.
And he knew that was coming.
Oh my goodness, look at this. He doesn't skip a beat, reaches out to get it. Face. Oh my goodness. That could have been terrible.
Made the play, staggered a little bit, but he held on.
What a great play. Man, that had to hurt now.
Oh, it still is, yeah.
Whoa.
He took a shot.
He did.
2 out for Sanchez, who has walked twice and scored each time.
You're not going to make a better play than that.
In between, Sanchez is flied out to center.
I got to see Velasquez give him a high five when he gets in the dugout.
To right field, racing back Swihart, and leaps up, and he's got it onto the warning track for out number 3. Travis with an outstanding play in left. Hospital for every Red Sox homer. Speedway, New England's first choice for value and convenience, and the largest convenience store contributor to Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Back at Yankee Stadium for Game 2, they continue to check out Sam Travis after that unkind meeting with the left field fence, and
wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, I am shocked that he didn't respond. I mean, he face planted.
I don't think the Red Sox liked the answers that they were getting after he smacked into that wall. Swihart will lead off here in the 8th inning, 8-1 New York. We'll see if Sam continues, but Swihart batting for the first time. Red Sox have taken a lot of the regulars out of the ball game with the score as it is, and work to be done certainly the rest of this one. But tomorrow night, looking ahead, if the Red Sox cannot make a miraculous comeback tonight, still an opportunity to win the division here in New York. Just have to win one game here as Holder comes out of the bullpen and smacked into right field for a base hit. Swihart right on it for a sharp single, and that'll bring up Phillips for the first time.
Boy, I tell you what, Swihart had to go out to right field. He made the last out in right field. It wasn't pretty.
Staggered a bit.
It wasn't pretty. I mean, that's not an easy thing to do. He's played everywhere, and then he comes up and hits a bullet on a split finger.
And he's such a good athlete. You know, there are things you can expect from a Blake Swihart that you wouldn't necessarily expect from everybody else.
I mean, he's a catcher. I mean, you fire him around everywhere, and it's not that easy.
Brandon Phillips for the first time. He's hitting in J.D. Martinez spot. J.D. was the one guy who had a really nice offensive night. He went 3 for 3.
Didn't crush it a couple of times, but
I broke 2 bats actually.
Yeah.
Oh, and 2. Back to that play you were talking about.
Yeah,
right.
check this play. He pulls up too early and then he jumps and leaps. Oh, routine kind of corner. Got a man there. He's just a good athlete is what he is.
And you make a good point though about, you know, the assumption, at least among some who watch baseball, that you can throw anybody anywhere virtually, right? You can take a catch, you can play him in right field, you can take a shortstop, you can play him at first base. At the major league level, it's incredibly hard to do that.
I mean, how many times do you think he's played right field? I mean, not even. I can't even guess. Just a couple times, I would assume.
Sure.
You know what happened when he played left field a couple of years ago? He hurt himself against that wall, cost him the season.
You know, Brock Holt makes it look easy. I realize that. Move him around everywhere. He's getting ready to enter the fray here tonight too, it would appear. And a pop-up. Torres drifting out into right. Couple of steps, he's there. 1 gone. And Zhu Wei Lin now batting out of the cleanup spot. William Cuevas, who worked last night, getting ready to work again. We saw a lot of breaking balls from him. Very few fastballs.
Yeah, a ton of breaking balls. He's a starting pitcher, is what he is, and he gets thrown in this job.
So he was fresh off the farm. Cuevas last night against the Yankees, 1 inning, couple of strikeouts. Nellie's Free Range Eggs, proud sponsor of the Red Sox. We love our hens. You will love our eggs.
He had a nice year down there. Look at those numbers at the bottom.
Two strikes on Lynn.
Holder's the kid, though, that could not get out of that inning. One of the ugliest innings anybody could possibly ever have. Has nothing to do with whether he's a good pitcher or not. Just one of those innings.
And around and around and around the Red Sox went.
Unbelievable.
That was the 4-game sweep at Fenway.
Did he give up 8 earned runs? I'm guessing.
Believe it was.
With nobody out.
I'll have to check that, but I think
If
it was
I recall, it was just outrageous. And he had been pitching good up to that point, too. Boy, he'll never forget that appearance.
It was actually 7 earned, 5 hits.
Any outs?
Did not retire a batter.
Thank you.
That was the 4th inning on August 2nd. That's in there, strike 3. Zhu Wei Lin caught admiring the pitch, so 2 down. And you're talking about a guy who's been a quality pitcher.
Oh, yeah.
Just a nightmare of an inning.
It could happen to the best of us.
Here's Mitch Moreland. He's gone 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts and a tapper back to the mound. 8-1 Yankees. We're in the 8th inning. With Swihart aboard.
Got to get Mitch going too. We were talking about Leon for earlier tonight. Mitch has got to get it going. Severino made some tough pitches on him. He punched him out on a ball down and in 98.
Brock Holt has come to the on deck area. So he would hit for Kinsler.
Don't want to waste that pinch hit the way he's been going.
Oh, and 2 to Moreland. Attendance tonight here at Yankee Stadium, 43,297. And a high fly ball, right center field on the move. It is Hicks all the way to the warning track, and he's got that to retire the side. Pretty good swing by Moreland. Nothing to show for that. One man left.
Starting Friday, breaking droughts and breaking records.
This magnificent season for Mookie Betts.
See two of baseball's brightest stars on baseball's best teams. A potential ALCS preview. It's Red Sox Indians. The 3-game series begins Friday at 6 on Nesta.
Hey, now you can fly Southwest for just $69 one way. $69. If you think this sale fare is low, you should see what we charge you for 2 check bags, or overhead bags, or carry-on bags. Which means these $69 one-way sale fares stay $69. And while we don't charge hidden fees, this sale won't last forever. So book your fall travel now at southwest.com. Low fares, no hidden fees, that's transparency.
These days, everyone's selling a mattress in a box. But unlike the new guys, I offer choice. Like my Eclipse Gel or Eclipse Hybrid Queen mattresses. Your choice, only $3.99 each. Shipped to your doorstep in a box or set up in any room of your home via my Bobtastic delivery service. I'll even take away your old mattress when I deliver your new one. The new guys don't do that. I guess this is one of those times where it is cool to be old school.
Bob's Discount Furniture.
I'll definitely be there. I'll be there.
Yes. We'll be at the playoffs. I will absolutely be there.
I'll be at the playoffs.
Go Red Sox!
Second night in a row, William Cuevas coming out of the Red Sox bullpen. It is 8-1 Yankees. They really opened it up in the 6th inning when they scored 4 times, including the second home run of the ball game by Luke Voit.
You know, that error kind of gets overlooked now. I mean, after the fact, if you lose this game, what, 4-1, or that's huge. But now, after the home runs, that's the story.
Another defensive change. We mentioned that Sam Travis, after running into the wall, looked groggy. He is out of the ball game. Brock Holt now in for him and left.
And that was scary. It could have been even worse. I hope he's okay.
Oh, Voit is certainly the star of this one. He's 3 for 3, 2 home runs, driven in 3. He scored 3 times. Batting out of the 8th spot. And he's going to knock that one to center field. He has a 4 for 4 game. They chant Luke for him.
There's going to be a matinee idol, huh, at the end of this year. See what he does in the playoffs.
First 4-hit game of his young career. Acquired from the St. Louis Cardinals this summer. That'll send up Gleyber Torres, who has gone 0 for 3. 8 runs, 9 hits for the Yankees, 1 run on 7 hits, and an error for the Red Sox. And in there for strike 1 with a curveball. The Houston Astros are the closest in record to the Red Sox going into play today. And the next likely ball club to win 100 games, they are 95 and 56. Though they're being blanked 6-0 by Seattle in the 7th inning right now. Through the hole for a base hit. First 2 men with singles off of Cuevas here in the 8th. And it'll be up to the top of the order, and Andrew McCutchen, who's had a very nice night, been on base 3 times.
Cuevas has probably never pitched back-to-back days. He started all year long. He gets up to the big leagues, and he's got to do this.
Recalled from the Paw Sox on September 1. 10-7 as a starter. And AAA with a 3.39 ERA. So McCutchen batting with nobody out, 2 on in the 8th. And a dribbler. Cuevas has that. He'll go to first base. That's the effect of a sacrifice bunt. Runners at second and third. Sheffield, a left-hander throwing in their bullpen.
That's a nephew of Gary Sheffield. Some connection there.
And here comes Bird.
You see the 11 home runs by Bird. I think he's been a big disappointment for the Yankees.
There's an RBI opportunity here with 2 men in scoring position.
Here's a guy that thought was going to get off. He's been hurt a lot. Missed the whole season, I think, didn't he? Ankle problem.
He's had a lot of injury trouble.
Yeah.
Only 1 away. And he flares that one foul.
This guy's got a launch angle for you. He got a Yankee Stadium swing.
Another one softly hit. Run trying to score, and will on the toss to first base. So the Yankees now lead it 9-1. And the 4th run of the ball game by Boyd, who's been doing everything.
Man, 4 for 4, 3 RBIs, 4 runs scored.
Two down, a runner at third base for Aaron Hicks, who tripled in 2 runs in the 6th inning. 1 for 4. And he will lay off a soft one outside for ball 1. Yankees got 3 runs in the 2nd inning. They got up 4-0 in the 4th inning. Four more runs in the 6th and 1 here in the 8th. Our game summary brought to you by Xfinity. Severino was really good over 7. The line just 6 hits and 1 earned run, and he struck out half a dozen.
Yeah, he looked good, but you have to keep it close, and you see what he would have done under pressure.
Knocked into right field, down for a base hit. Another run's going to score. And the Yankees continue to pour it on, now 10-1.
Well, you might as well get all these soft hits out of the way, whatever.
Hicks driven in 3 runs. Didn't kill that, but he'll take the RBI. 10 runs on 11 hits. That'll send up Stanton, who's been very quiet, 0 for 4, including 2 strikeouts tonight. Well, the Red Sox will have to set their sights on a clinching tomorrow night. Opportunity to do that with a victory here tomorrow. A lot of that will be up to the left-hander Eduardo Rodriguez. He's had some great outings on this Yankee Stadium mound.
And Tanaka, he's been tough, especially the second half of the season. I've watched him throw a couple of games, Tanaka, where he was just kept the ball down.
Tanaka's won 3 in a row.
Well, he can give up some home runs. He gets the ball up a little bit. Red Sox have done some damage to him before.
Two more runs in for the Yankees here in the 8th inning. Here's the 2-1. Cuevas has allowed 3 hits in the inning. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Stanton. And a strike. Canely also now there with Sheffield. In the Yankee pen, here's the payoff pitch. And that'll be in there for strike 3. Caught him looking. Stanton going 0 for 5, 3 Ks, 10-1 New York. Brought to you by Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service. Citizens Bank. Visit citizensbank.com. And by KM Together We Grill. Well, top half of the 9th inning, and the Yankees have run away with this, a 10-1 lead on the Sox. Justice Sheffield making his major league debut as one of their top prospects. Baseball America tabbing him as the #3 prospect of the Yankees. He was acquired from Cleveland in the Andrew Miller trade a couple of years ago. See his numbers at AA and AAA.
All I ever heard was that they wouldn't give him up in all those trades they had talked about.
So 22 years old, about to fire his first major league pitch and taking on Brock Holt.
It's hard to remember what that felt like.
4, but ball 1.
He should say, I got to have it. His first pitch in the big leagues.
And Brock's been locked in, swinging a very hot bat. 2-run home run on Sunday, second straight game with 2 RBIs. Two and 0.
You think the umpire knows this is his debut? You think? I bet he does.
Well, you know,
all you have to do is look up there.
Threw it up on the board, and the crowd was cheering like crazy.
I was wondering what they were cheering about.
Yeah, I think they are very excited about his future.
I'm clueless up here. I'm saying, who are they cheering for?
There's the 2-1.
I've been told he's not related to Gary Sheffield. I am so sorry.
It's a better story if he is.
I know.
You know?
But I'm a sucker for a rumor, right?
Gary, of course. Well, that rumor's been going around.
Right, and I'm off to the races with it. Right? It just seems like a given.
Into left and down for a base hit. Sliding to cut it. And Brock Holt's got himself a base hit, and the beat goes on for him. So he continues to swing a very good bat on here in the 9th inning. Red Sox with their 8th hit.
I think he's telling Voit, nice game over there at first base.
Tyler Wade into the ball game in right. And here's Nunez. He's 1 for 3 with a double. Ronald Torreyes taking over at second. And a 1-0. Off the mound, Sheffield tried to get out of the glove, but not in time. Everybody's safe. And difficulty freeing it from the glove, and the Red Sox have runners at first and second on the base hit.
Yeah, this is a base hit. You know, this should be an out, but he had to go a long ways for this thing. He just couldn't get it out of his glove. Should have thrown the whole glove over there. That's a tough play, his first major league appearance.
So, second hit tonight for Nunez, who has scored the only Red Sox run. That was way back in the 5th inning. 2 on for Sandy Leon, who had an RBI single in the 5th that drove in Nunez, who had doubled. But a rough night for the Red Sox, who came in with high hopes of clinching the division. With David Price on the mound, pitching brilliantly here, going back to the All-Star break, and tonight did not go his way. Certainly 5 1/3, 6 runs, 5 hits.
I mean, if you're going to have a bad outing, you might as well get it out of the way.
Two on and nobody out. And here comes Alex Cora with a trainer, and Nunez is going to come out. They're going to bring on a runner for Eduardo here, it appears. That's going to be Christian Vasquez to run for him. Now recently he's been troubled by soreness in the knee. I wonder if that's flaring up again.
I didn't see anything on his run to first base on the base hit. I'm sure he smelt a hit and he turned it on.
Out he comes. Take a look at Nunez going up the first baseline.
He's getting it, huh? I don't see anything.
No to Leon and popped him up into right. To Reyes underneath to make the catch. One gone. Infield fly rule was in effect. And Jackie Bradley will be next. 10-1 New York. Far different game than last night, which ended 3-2 Yankees, but they're on the verge of taking the first two. Despite 3 hits tonight from JD Martinez. Jackie's gone 1 for 3 with a base hit. Mookie Betts on deck. And Sheffield with the 0-1. Severino in line for the victories. He went 7 strong innings tonight. 1-1 from the left-hander. And a strike. Not on the swing. 1-2, 1 away. Red Sox are finding it very difficult to score in this series. At least so far. 2-2. Sox coming to play tonight had lost only 2 of their last 21 series since the start of July, but the Yankees are 2 outs away from winning the series regardless of what happens tomorrow. Though the Red Sox have their eyes on a larger prize, the division. Is the 2-2. Runs inside. So it's a full count on JBJ.
Yankees trying to fend off the Oakland A's is what they're trying to do, so they can have home field at this point. Oakland blew a game last night to the Angels. They were up 7-4, lost 9-7.
Right now the Yankees with a 2.5 game lead in that particular race for home field advantage. They're underway in Oakland. 0-0 second inning. And that'll be ball 4. So the Red Sox will have the bases loaded for Mookie Betts. With 1 man out. Mookie tonight is 0 for 3. He's grounded to third, struck out twice, and also taking ball 4. That was at the very top of the night against Severino, and it looked like the Red Sox were going to get a couple of early runs, but that did not materialize.
Totally different ball game if they score in the first inning. Totally. That's how it's been all season long. The record stands for it.
Red Sox had second and third in that first inning, but failed to score. So man at every base with 1 man out. We are in the 9th inning. And the plate moving around on the youngster here. He's fallen behind 2-0 on Mookie.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to get out of a kid. First appearance. I mean, if there's a time to bring him in, this would be it.
In there for a strike. 2-1. Mookie beginning play tonight, leading the majors in batting average, number 2 in runs, number 2 in on base percentage and OPS. That's in Major League Baseball, not the American League. He'll back away, and that is ball 3. Swihart on deck. So we'll see if Mookie likes it on 3-1. No place to put him. And he did. He socked it deep down the line. Did he hook it too much? He did into that second level foul.
I mean, just a hair out front.
Goodness. Very nearly his 30th home run of the season.
Well, you know what you're going to get. He's got to throw a strike here. He just couldn't. Just a little too quick. Slammage foul.
It would have been the 10th grand slam of the season for the Red Sox.
Seems like it's been a while since they hit a slam.
Long time. July 14th was the last one. 3-2. On one hop. Out there, and a double play for the second consecutive night ends it here at Yankee Stadium. So no clinching tonight. TC, this was a runaway for the Yankees, 10-1.